Hi, I'm Brad Wilde from the GoWylde team at Remax. One of the most common questions I get from people looking to buy a house, usually first-time buyers or investors, is how do I know if this is a good area to buy into? Well, if you're looking at making the best return on your real estate investment, then you want to buy in an area that's going to turn over or an up-and-coming neighborhood. This is because you buy in at a low price, you'll get more house for your money, and then when you go to sell your house, you should realize a really good profit because that area will have appreciated better than other neighborhoods. These areas can be really hard to find though. A lot of the time they'll appear a bit run down and may not have the best reputation. It's really important that you pick a neighborhood that is actually up and coming and not just a bad neighborhood that stays a bad neighborhood. There are several indications that a neighborhood may be turning around soon or is going to become an up and coming neighborhood. The first one is what the other areas are like around a neighborhood. If you find a neighborhood that's a bit run down but surrounded by much more expensive neighborhoods, then there's a good chance that that neighborhood at one point will become a nice neighborhood as well. Another thing to look for is major development. A lot of these older neighborhoods have run-down factories or large pieces of property that aren't really being utilized. If you see a developer come into one of these neighborhoods and start turning these factories into condo lofts or opening up retail outlets, this is a really good indication that the neighborhood is starting to turn. Another thing to look for is proximity to public transit. Neighborhoods that are close to major transit hubs like bus stations, train stations, tend to be a lot more popular than inaccessible or isolated neighborhoods. So if you notice that the city is developing a new transit hub close to a not so good neighborhood, that might be a good area to buy into. Also, it's good to look where a lot of the young people are buying. Typically young people are priced out of, the really established high-end neighborhoods, and they're forced to buy in a little bit more neglected neighborhoods. This generally leads to the resurgence of that area. First the young people come, then all the bars and restaurants come, which help raise the desirability of that neighborhood. The last thing you want to look for is areas that have interesting architecture or historical architecture. These areas tend to turn around a lot better than ones with your typical boring architecture. If you're interested in knowing what are the popular and more up-and-coming neighborhoods in Guelph, please feel free to contact the GoWylde team and we'd be happy to talk to you.